Hi, my name's Greg Fournier. I'm the product manager at Hayward, responsible for automation. And today we're going to talk about the Pro app, and we're actually going to build a little bit more complex of a configuration. So we're going to build a pool spa with a spillover, and I'm going to show you how we do it with the Pro app using remote config. So I'm going to open up the Pro app. I'm going to go to remote config. I know that my MSP ID is 27492, so I'm going to add that in here, 27492. And I hit OK. And it's a system that I've ability to configure, so I can hit continue. And I'm going to start a new configuration. And I'm going to name it, I'm going to name it 2. And then I'm going to say pool spa spillover, because I'm going to save this as a template afterwards. And I'm going to say start a new configuration and going to hit continue. So as we've talked about before, when I go to general settings, they were brought in from my defaults that I've already set up. And I'm going to set 2 bodies of water. So I'm going to start with body of water 1, the pool, and I'm going to say it's 25,000 gallons. Hit continue. And I'm going to say that it has a heater, it has chemistry, it has a water feature, and it has lights. So we're going to build the pool out just like we did before. Again, trying to make it as easy as possible. I'm going to leave it as named as pool. For the filter pump, it's going to be a variable speed, and it's going to ask me which of the variable speeds am I using for the filter pump. So VSP1, and it again brings in all of the defaults that I'd set previously, and I hit done. So I'm done with the filter pump. On the heater, I'm just going to say it's a heater and a gas heater, and it's going to ask me where the relay is plugged in. I'm going to say low voltage relay 1, and I'm going to hit done. And then I'm going to think, oh, you know what? There's a heat cool pump as well on this system. So I'm going to go to heat pump and hit next. It's going to ask me what low voltage relay 1 is already used. So I'm going to use 2. And does it support cooling? I'm going to say yes. And what relay am I going to use? I just used 2 above, so I'm going to use 3. And I'm going to hit done. So now I've configured the pool, filter pump, and heating and cooling. For chemistry, I'm not using sense and dispense. I'm just going to use a salt chlorinator. So it's going to say no to sense and dispense. Or am I using a chlorinator? Yes. Where is it located? Because there's a default location for it. So I'm going to say that it's the default location. It's T cell S340 cell, and I'm going to use standard salt. You can also use low salt. So in conjunction with the UV ozone system, you can generate chlorine at levels that are down to 800 parts per million. And when you do that, it's really almost the level of salt that's available in the pool on a chlorine pool. There's residual salt that's in there. So if you have a chlorine pool, you can measure the salt content. And in all likelihood, it's somewhere in that area between 8 and 1500 parts per million. So even though it's a non-salt pool, as you would expect, you have a salt content in there, and it's enough to generate a half pound of chlorine a day that you could be used in conjunction with your UV ozone system. So I'm going to hit done here. For water features, I'm going to add some laminars. So the equipment water feature, and let's go with laminars. And next, it's going to be a variable speed pump. And I'm going to select the HUA. It's the other one that we have. Brings in all the defaults. I hit done. Again, very quickly. Same thing for the lights. Universal color logic, low voltage light. Oh, I should go back. I'm going to call it a pool light so that I can use my voice assistant to make sure that that I can turn it on by yelling at it. And then for relays, it's 1. And where is it located? At high voltage relay 1. I hit next. I'm going to set them in omnidirect mode, and that sends the command right away. And now I'm finished. I've completed configuring my pool. So I'm going to hit done here. It's going to say that I have to set up my sensors. Again, because I have a chlorinator in there and I have heating, it's going to ask me for my air temp, my water temp, and my flow switch. So air temp, I just open it up. It's plugged into the right place. I hit OK. You still have the ability to change it. If I decided for my water temp, it wasn't in pool, it was actually in solar or external input. I could do that, but it is in pool, which is the right place. And my flow switch, it tells me that it's in flow switch 1, which is what most people use. And I hit OK and hit done. So I'm done configuring the pool. Do I want to add something else? Yeah, I want to add a spa, and my spa is 1,000 gallons. Continue. It asks me, does it share equipment with another body? And in this particular case, I'm going to say yes. And it shares equipment with the pool, and it's shared equipment. It could be dual equipment if we wanted to do a whole another set, but in this particular case, we're going to go shared equipment. Does it have spillover? I'm also going to say yes. And it's going to ask me to configure all of the valves for this. And I'm just going to make sure that I have a light in there. So building my configuration, it's going to ask me about spillover. So really spillover, it's going to say valves 1 and valves 2, suction and return, which are already pre-configured. And then it brings in all of the rest of the information, and I hit done. And now I'm done with pool and spa. I can add backyard options. So in this particular case, because it's a little bit more complex, I'm going to say yes, they're in my backyard. I use UCL, and we'll be able to use UCL for landscape lights in the future, so low voltage landscape lights. And you can see a bug here that it doesn't allow me to go all the way back to the beginning, and we will fix that by the time you guys watch this video. So it actually lets me fix it. Took, took, took. Huh. And all of this. So I'm going to hit next. It's going to say how many relays. I'm going to say 1. What relay, where is it configured? It's on high voltage relay 2. Hit next. I'm going to set them as omnidirect. And so my landscape lights that I need to edit now because I spelled it wrong. So I'm going to go landscape. And we've now are done configuring. It's just going to ask me, it's going to tell me that I have to wait because it's sending the commands to the lights. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to be done with backyard features. And lastly, we have very complex interlocks. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do it on this training video. I'll do it on a future one. But the interlocks are things that would say that, for example, your pool cover is closed. You want to make sure that none of the water features are turned on. Or your pool cover is closed and you want to reduce the temperature of the pool or reduce the speed of the pump. Or when it's in spa mode, that a certain pump can't be on, or if it's in pool mode that the lights have to be on. You can build interlocks for any one of those, and I'll show you that in another training. So I'm going to hit done for all of this, and it's showing me the full configuration and all of the equipment that I have configured. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to send to Omni. It's going to say that, are you sure? And it could take up to 10 minutes, but in 3 minutes from now, I'm going to get an alert saying that the configuration has been received and that the configuration is done. So I'm going to return home. I appreciate you guys listening to my quick overview of the ProApp and a little bit more complex configuration, and I look forward to showing you other things in the future.